Hello, everyone.
Hi guys, today is construction day 49.
Yeah, the end of another work week. Today's Saturday. A lot of things happening up on the work site. But today I'm going to do something a little different with the update. Yesterday the contractor was up here and we spent about a good hour together just walking the whole property. And I asked a lot of questions and got a lot of answers. Very happy the way the contractor is approaching his build. So I want to talk about what's going to happen over the next 30 and 60 days as we push forward with getting the roof on, the floors poured, the dirty kitchen started, purchasing of the tiles, and all that. So we really had a good conversation. I must have asked 50 questions. He was very patient. We talked about Wilma's walk-in closet. So I'm going to do all of that today on today's update is really talk about the next 30 and 60 days. And then last, we're getting ready for our first live show. So are you ready for that?
That's right, ready or not, I'm ready.
We're going to give it a try, guys.
Yes.
It's our first time. I set it up last night, didn't know what I was doing. It was pretty simple. Did a quick thumbnail. It's for Sunday, which is tomorrow, September 18th at 9 a.m. Philippine time. So that would be 9 p.m. In the U.S. East Coast, and then 6 p.m. West Coast. So we try to work it out because about 60% of our viewership from the analytics is coming from the U.S. and then the next country is the Philippines at about 20%, 18, 19%. And then the rest is like Canada and Australia and the UK. And then after that, it really, breaks down a lot of countries with small amounts. So I don't know if that timing is right. Sunday at 9, we'll give it a shot. I know when people do live shows, they want a lot of people to join. I'm not actually hoping for that. I'm hoping it's just a few people so I can practice. We'll be taking questions live and doing our best to answer. So are you ready to answer some questions?
I'll try.
Yeah, I think she'll do great. So that live show is tomorrow, Sunday at 9 a.m. Hope you can join. Be patient. It's our first one. We're going to use an external mic, so we're going to see how that works. We're going to use the laptop. Some people use their phone. So the first live show will be with a laptop. And then if that doesn't work out, then we'll go to our phone. And we'll give it a shot. We'll see how many people join, if there's any interest or not. And it'll give you guys an opportunity to ask some specific questions. And then hopefully we'll have specific answers. So let's get up to the work site and get the update started. Take care. So like I said in today's opening, had a real good 1 hour discussion with the contractor here on site. We went over the whole property and I had a chance to ask many questions, 50 questions. Got 50 answers and really have a plan for the next 30 and 60 days. So I want to share that 30, 60 day plan with you guys. So just to go backwards just for a bit, you guys know that when we took the realtor approach of using 3 realtors per island, 5 islands, that's 15 realtors that we had a relationship with and was all trying to find property for us. And, one might say, well, that's a waste. And we didn't think so. I mean, we wanted to take our time and see what's out there. And a little competition is not a bad thing. And then we did the same thing with our architect. Once we found this property here in Negros Oriental in Darwin, we interviewed 3 architects, and we feel we found the correct one. We're very happy with what he did for us. So we took the same approach with the contractors. We interviewed 4 contractors, and I started out the interviews. We all met. Usually at a coffee shop, Ground Zero, right in Dumaguete. And I pretty much took over the conversation and said, I don't want to hear anything about how good you are as a contractor or all the homes that you built. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to tell you the type of home I want to build. I just want to talk about you and your team and how you guys approach your work. And that's how we started the conversation. And I just wanted to see how each contractor dealt with a question like that. I started off by saying, are you or your team going to have a problem with me being on site every day? Wilma and I made that commitment to be on site every single day, rain or shine. Luckily, we haven't been sick, so I guess if we get sick, we won't be on site. But I wanted to see the reaction. I made it very clear I wouldn't interfere with the day-to-day business, but I want to reserve the right to ask all questions and question workmanship, and then just get an answer. You'd be surprised how people handle a question like that, and that spoke volumes. I didn't want to know, I built 50 houses, they're all fantastic. I mean, you think someone at your interview is going to say, I do shoddy work, and I tell everybody I can build it in 6 months, but I know it's going to take 12 months. So why waste my time saying, do you build a good house, or can you do it in 6 months? Can you do it in 12 months? That's really just a waste of time, because you're going to get, the answer that they want to give. So I was more wanting to know about the thought process of the builder and his team. And then, the next question was, I said, do you mind me being open and honest with you, good or bad? If I see something wrong, or I know something's wrong, if I come at you and say, this is wrong, stop doing it, and fix it, are you going to be offended? Are you going to tell me, you're the contractor, you know better, and, and just move on? Or are you going to be open to, the fact that I'm the customer? And, one stood out. And we started that relationship right from the beginning. Very open and honest. We met, I think 3 or 4 more times before I signed the contract. I reviewed the contract, I redlined, made alterations to it. I just didn't sign what he wrote. I made changes and addendums. So I think a lot to do with success of building, and this is my opinion. It's probably doesn't mean much, but it does to Wilma and I, because this is our retirement dollars, and we got to be very cautious with wasting money. So we're retired. We are not working anymore. So we were real clear that we want things done right the first time, and that we're going to be very involved. And we're very happy with our contractor. He's very open-minded. We've made some changes, nothing major, but some changes, and he absorbed a lot of the cost. He said, I don't need to alter the price because it's not a big deal. But in some things, he'll come back at me honestly and say, I didn't prepare for that. And you're going to have to absorb that cost. And then we make that decision. And a good example is with the granite. The granite that Wilma picked out is actually double the price of what he budgeted. So he said, not a problem. He said, I'll put the down payment down, but you just got to pay the difference. And I like that, open and honest relationship. So in yesterday's meeting, we walked around and I said, okay, now that we got the walls up and you got the trusses up, when is the roof going to be on? When is the floor going to be poured? When do you need to order the tiles? We do not want any delays. And he took his time and walked through and did, the explanation. So it looks like that once Felix gets this side done, the contractor is working on getting the roofing company out to do measurement. And he being the contractor, wants to get this roof on as soon as possible. He says that is his primary goal. Obviously to get the rest of these beams poured, and that's his guys. And it looks like they ran out of plywood, so it looks like we probably will push from Tuesday to Wednesday with the pour. But again, that's fine. It's just a one-day push. But he really wants to work on getting the roof in place. So that's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. And then at the same time, he's going to start pouring the floors. Now, obviously, the roughing has to be done. There's still some work there, but he wants to get the floor poured as well. And then next week, we're going shopping together, and he's going to order all the tiles because I think we have 4 different styles of tile, and he wants to get that all ordered and get it here. So he's a real forward thinker, and he's pushing to get this house completed. Now, obviously, we don't want to sacrifice quality, and he's not. I'm here every day. I see the work that they're doing, and I'm pleased. He's figured out that he can do more homes if he's productive. So, I keep saying that this house is going to be built in 6 months, and it seems like this, this is like a new concept. It's not. The builder said that all his homes, his goal is 6 months. So he's figured out that if he gets a large enough crew on site and push through and have good weather, and then he can move on to the next home. And he was sharing with me yesterday that he actually has a couple of homes in the queue where people are seeing his work, and that's another topic. He was very open and honest when we met, and he said, why don't you go visit 3 or 4 homes, look at the pools that we've done and look at the homes. And he said, don't talk to the homeowner as a testimonial, because if I pick that person, of course they're going to say everything is fantastic. So testimonials doesn't hold a lot of weight as well, but the workmanship does. And that was his angle. He told me, he goes, walk around and really look at the quality of work. And I'll tell you, this home is 4 years old. This home is 2 years old. Look for cracks in the wall. I mean, he's real confident when he talks about his workmanship. So let's cross our fingers that everything is going to go well here. Could there be problems? Of course. But I think it's real important to have that open and honest relationship, and spend the time on site. And as you guys know, the ones that have watched us from the beginning, we've caught a couple issues, nothing major. The column would probably be the biggest issue that we had. We had one column that had to be replaced and 2 others had to be redoweled. And if I wasn't on site, guess what? Never would have seen it. Now, once that column was poured, would it ever be a problem? Maybe not. But maybe yes. You just don't know. So I think it's, if anything comes out of this video today, is if you're thinking about building a home in the Philippines, or anywhere for that matter, try to be involved as much as you can. Be there. Be open and honest with the guys. If I see a problem, I don't go to the foreman. I mean, I'll mention it to the foreman, but I go to the contractor. I go to the owner. I don't want the contractor to think that I'm circumventing his approach with his guys. Of course, I ask the foreman questions, but I'm not going to give him direction or challenge his workmanship. I'm going to go to the owner and say, this is what I saw, and I need you to investigate and report back to me your findings. And that's exactly what I did with the column. Of course, I approached the contractor, the foreman, but I dialed up the contractor and said, meet me here the next day. And he showed up midday, and I showed him the issue, and he addressed it. So I think that's a good approach. So we definitely, Wilma and I, hope that the build is going to go fine, and we hope everyone else is as well. There's nothing worse than taking your retirement dollars and investing it into a home and then having something negative happen. I mean, that's stressful and a shame. And, I hate to see that. But definitely be as involved as much as you can. And I think good things will come. But it also starts with making sure, and that's why I'm a little long-winded today, to make sure that you find the right contractor first. Don't do a friend of a friend. Don't do a relative. Really look and interview as many people as you can. Ask around. Spend the time up front, because I think it will pay dividends in the end. I wanted to give everybody the decision that we made regarding the shower here in the master bathroom. So one of the conversations I had with the contractor yesterday, and let me explain this. Most of his homes, he has 9-foot ceilings. That's typically his design, and that's typically what he does, 9-foot ceilings. Our ceilings are a little different because, as you guys know, in the main room, and you can see it here, the ceiling height will be 12 feet. Now the trusses and the roof will be higher than that, but the inside will be 12 feet. And then in the bedrooms on both sides of the house, again, the ceiling height will be 10 feet, and then the trusses and the roof will be higher than that. So that's rather unique. So what he does in his other homes is the ceiling heights are 9 feet, but in the bathrooms in his houses, he drops the ceiling down to 8 feet. So every other room in the house would be 9, the bathrooms are 8. That's his design. As he says, that looks better in his opinion. So, I went and agreed with it. So our bathrooms, where the rooms will be 10 foot high, but in the bathroom itself will be 9 foot, just to keep that same theme of dropping 12 inches. So, which means this wall will now go to the 9 foot, right to the ceiling. And then he says he ties walls like this into above the ceiling. He'll tie it into the walls for strength. So no need for columns. And we wouldn't want to add columns to this anyway, because we want that 1 meter opening going into each side. So we could have designed that, but the wall is already basically up. So the wall will go now 9 feet high, and the ceiling in this master bathroom, as well as the spare bathroom, will be 9 feet tall.